For those who have been tuned into the streams, you know that I've recently been doing a challenge of beating Marvel Rivals by playing one Avenger per rank. And recently, after 60 plus hours, I finally did it. That video will be coming out soon, but what I really wanted to talk about was Thor, who leading into this challenge I pretty much had never played. In fact, the only other heroes who I had lower time on were Penny and Widow. However, after struggling for over 25 hours, I've come to realize one thing. Thor is strong, and I really mean strong. So today, I just wanted to give my complete unfiltered thoughts on Thor, how to play him, and show you why I believe he might low-key be broken. Real quick, I wanted to give a quick summary of Thor. Thor is a melee tank with 4 abilities, with 3 of them being on a resource meter. The first ability, called Mjolnir Bash, is a simple hammer throw that does 45 damage. Now, out of all of his abilities, this one is definitely the worst, but does have a lot of damage combos that make it pretty powerful. His second is called Storm Surge, where he can charge to dash forward and also grab an enemy. This deals 45 damage uncharged and up to 60 at full charge. His third and final resource meter is his Awakening Ruin, where, as you know, he throws hammers. Pretty obvious. Unlike his bash, these projectiles do not have fall off or fade away and deal 70 damage, which is pretty freaking high. There's a lot to talk about with this, as this is your primary way of doing high damage, and your main goal on Thor is pretty much to just throw as many hammers as possible. Now, this ability I think a lot of people, including myself, really don't understand, but it's called Lightning Realm. Unlike the others, this ability is on a basic 12-second cooldown, and will allow you to generate Thor Force, his passive, based on the amount of enemies in the range when casted. It also deals 40 damage when enemies run out of it, and slows them as well when hit by it. Now for his passive, Thor Force. The TLDR is that you have 3 of them, and generate them passively every 5 seconds. Using an ability gives you 100 temporary health, and 200 if using Awakening, with 200 being the max. This is how you tank and survive on Thor. Finally, his ultimate, God of Thunder. This launches Thor into the air, doing 40 damage every 0.5 seconds in an area and slamming down for a solid 220. Now, for those who played him, this might seem a little useless, but as we'll show you later, there are actually some pretty cool combos and tricks you can use that allow this to be a little bit more effective than you might think. Okay, so you now know the basics of the character, and I really don't want to bore you so much with this boring shit, so let's just get into the meat and potatoes of this character. A small thing I wanted to mention was using Lightning Realm in combination with his ults. This slows the enemies, and pretty much comboing them allows you to guarantee a kill or at least force a support ult, which for an ult like his is pretty freaking valuable. When using an ability on Thor, your hammer will turn blue for a few seconds, and hitting an enemy will give you this charge back. This allows you to do some pretty interesting things, like hitting an enemy with a melee, then animation canceling it into an up close dash, then meleeing again to finish them off. Now, with this in mind, Awakening becomes really easy to cycle. When using it, you actually end with 1 passively charged Thor Force. However, if you hit an enemy quickly after, you're able to get back another one, which allows you to then just Storm Surge again, get your Thor Force back, and Awakening will be up again. This becomes even crazier with Lightning Realm, which allows you to sometimes instantly get back all 3 charges. This cycling only became even stronger after the recent buff, which at the time of me writing this hasn't come out, but will allow you to instantly use your abilities without having a 2-second wait at the end. This buff is huge, and in combination with the other changes, in my opinion, makes Thor incredibly strong. Okay, enough with all that. I really just wanted to make this video to have an excuse to yap about Thor, so that's what I finna do. Starting with triple support. Now, Thor is actually one of the strongest tanks in the triple support because his damage is so high that generally you can actually kill supports even when they're healing each other. Now, when they use their ults, it's a different story. However, Thor is really, really good at baiting it out, specifically with Luna Snow. If you use that lightning roam combo I was talking about earlier, you one, either guarantee a kill on Luna, because like I said, after a buff from before, you can't even freeze him out of it anymore. So you pretty much either kill the Luna Snow or bait out her ult, which is amazing value. Not to mention, Thor, in my opinion, has a really high skill ceiling with a ton of carry potential. You have the different abilities to make plays like frontlining, which to be fair, frontlining I don't think is that good, or even going on flanks and going into the backline, just freaking awakening, punching the freaking supports until they're like, please, 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 there's a Thor in the background, the back line, we need help, we can't deal with them. Not to mention, you want to know who's also broken right now? Storm. Now, Storm is getting some nerfs, but she is getting a 5% damage buff. And from what I've seen, they're not really nerfing her damage like too much, really. It's mainly just her damage buff to herself, which is meaningful. But more importantly, she's getting an insane team up with Johnny Storm. And if you've seen footage of that team up, she just freaking destroys everyone. And one of the reasons Storm is so fucking strong is because one, her damage is ridiculous, but two, she gets her ult so fast. And you want to know one of the main culprits that lets her get her ult so fast? Thor and that team up, that Shane Lightning, the Evo E-Drag Lightning shit. You get your ult so fucking fast. That team up is so strong. Not to mention Captain America got buffed, dude. Like that cat, like speaking from someone who I would genuinely say mains Cap. Maybe I'm a Thor main at this point, bro. I might be. He's my most played character now. But I played a lot of Cap and that team up is super fucking strong. Another thing, Thor is really good against the two tanks that are kind of meta. Hulk generally gets banned a lot, but Strange and Mag are pretty much in every single game because Mag is really good at countering support ults because he can generally just rock, specifically Cloak and Dagger, who luckily is getting some nerfs. But even though the Awakening form gets blocked by both their shields, Thor still has better movement than these characters, and he can literally go around them, charge his Storm Surge, and literally boop the tanks into his team. Like, if you're struggling with a tank like a Magneto that's just standing there with his shield up and you're like, I can't do anything, literally just go up on Thor, fly to the high ground, and then just frickin' jump down, charging your frickin' Storm Surge, and then push them into your team. They will just instantly die. He's like a Wolverine as a tank. That's just another thing about Thor. Thor is literally just a DPS tank. Like, he is a tank that has like 800 HP or whatever. Like, he's kind of fucking ridiculous, dude. He has high burst damage, pretty fucking decent survivability, has the ability to flank, and is just really good at baiting out support ults, dude. Like, honestly, dude, like, he's just a fun character too. Like, he's a fun character, and I feel like the better you get at him, the more like plays you can make. His kit, well, you know, you might look at it and be like, oh, there's a lot in this kit. There's honestly like, there's so many plays you can make. Like, it's not just freaking, oh, let me go to the backline every time and hit him with my Awakening, or why don't I just hit a fucking tank with the Awakening? Like, it's not just that. You have the flexibility to make a lot of plays on Thor. And dude, that's honestly why I fucking love Thor, man. And truly, like, after seeing the recent patch notes, I don't know, dude. Thor might be the best character. I should say Vanguard. He might be the best tank in the game right now. I'm not even trolling. I think he genuinely is. And after this buff, which if you play Thor, you know how massive this buff is. Like, the low taper fade meme is the only thing that really can compare to how big this buff is going to be for him. And if I were you, chat, I would freaking Q Hulk. Fuck Hulk. Sorry, that character's banned every time. I would Q Thor and I would dominate, because I have a feeling this character is going to pop the fuck off and he's going to get banned every game once people realize it. So yeah, play him before he gets nerfed, but yeah. Anyways though, this is very different to what I usually make, but let me know if you like these random yap videos. Anyways, though, the Avengers video will be out soon. Follow the Twitch, though, if you want to see these challenges filmed live. Subscribe to the YouTube so you don't miss anything. And yeah, that's really all I got. So y'all take care, and yeah, y'all have a good one.
Run it up on my back.